Hey everybody, this is Mr. Munson, and we are in Unit 3, Parallel Lines. So this video is going to cover just vocabulary words, and so make sure that you bring this in completed. Now, you might have forgotten to get a vocabulary sheet for this, or I may have forgotten to give it to you. If that's the case, if right now you do not have a vocabulary sheet in front of you, you would want to stop and go down to the comment section of the YouTube link or the YouTube page that you're viewing this video at, and look in the comment section. There'll be a link there for a document. Just open that up, print it up, and then you can write your vocabulary words and get going. All right, let's get started. Now, some of the words that we're going to encounter in this unit and that we need to understand, we've actually encountered before. So let me just remind you once again on your sheet, you should be writing your vocabulary words on the back side, and then you fold it over to cover the words that you can see here, and that way you can check yourself. Okay. Now I'm going to write in the document. You're going to write on the other side. Okay. So let's look at this very first one. It says a blank L, some word that starts with L and some word that starts with P, is a pair of adjacent angles whose non-common sides are opposite rays. Now you should know this one, and certainly you could probably read it right here. This is a linear pair. All right. I like to write the whole word in there. Let's move on. All right, see if you can identify this set of words. We've had this one before. Blank, blank are two angles whose sides form two pairs of opposite rays. All right. Let's take a look at the figure there, and of course, it's already pre-printed there for you, and you can steal a peek at what it is. It's vertical angles. All right, vertical angles. Okay, another term that we'll want to make sure that we understand is this idea of slope-intercept. Slope-intercept of a line, of a linear equation, is y equals mx plus b, where the m is the slope and the b is the y-intercept. Okay, so there's an example. Always know where these things are at, so as we're talking about them, if you're not sure what it means, you can always go back and look at these vocabulary words. How about this set of words? You know what this is? A blank blank of a polygon are angles formed by a side of a polygon and an extension of an adjacent side. So that 140 right there is one of these type of angles. All right, we have exterior angles. Blank blank angles are angles that are blank blank are angles that are in the interior of a polygon. Interior angles. Okay, blank of a blank is the ratio or fraction of its vertical change, rise, over its horizontal change, run. Now hopefully just those two key words, rise and run, have clued you in what this is. All right, the slope of a line is the ratio or fraction, right? So we have kind of the ratio down here, y with a little 2 down at the bottom minus y with a little 1 down. Don't put it up high because that represents exponents. These are subscripts. These are kind of helping you identify how these are, okay? So we find that if you look at the example down here, you can look and see how we're just basically finding, you know, taking the x's or the y's and subtracting them on top and the x's on the bottom, and that's given us how much up and down our line is. Write this into your vocabulary words. A line that starts high and goes low is a negative slope. And a line that goes low to the high, going reading left to right, is a positive slope. Okay, this is like an airplane. If an airplane was coming along, the horrible airplane there, if an airplane's coming along and it hit this line, it would descend as it goes from right or left to right, and as it descends, the slope of the plane is actually becoming negative and it's going towards the ground. Now this is the first word really that we're going to have from Unit 3 that you need to, that might be new to you. Okay, this kind of line is one that intersects two or more lines at distinct points. Okay, when we say distinct points, we just mean that they don't lie on top of each other, right? There are two different points there, and so in this case, T is called a transversal. It's a line that touches two or more other lines at two distinct or more distinct points. Transversal. All right, next page. All right, here we go. We have 3 blank spots. We're talking about angles. Okay, that's definitely the case here. Angles. Whoops, I've got my E. Okay, are non-adjacent exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. Okay, so let's just take that part by part. Okay, so first of all, they're exterior angles. So what we want to do is identify these two lines here have a transversal. Okay, angles that are on the in between the two lines, those are called interior angles. Okay, and so that means everything else is exterior. So these are exterior angles up here, and then out here there's exterior angles. 6 is an exterior angle, and so on. Okay, so those are all exterior angles. Okay, so the type of angles we're talking about are non-adjacent. That means they're not next door to each other. Exterior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So if you look at 5 here, let me change my color. 5 is an exterior angle, and 6 is an exterior angle that lie opposite sides of the transversal. 5 is on the left, 6 is on the right. So that works. They're non-adjacent. Okay, so if you take a look at where that T is for the line transversal, that T, there's an angle on that other side of 5. To the right of angle 5 is another angle over there to the right. And so that one wouldn't work because it's adjacent. So it has to meet both categories. Non-adjacent is an exterior angle, okay? And they're on opposite sides of the transversal. So 5 and 6 are called, so that 5 and 6 are alternate exterior angles. Alternate is the key word that tells you one is on one side, one is on the other. External or exterior means that they are on the outside of the two lines that the transversal's going to. Well, we have another one, very similar to the one above, but instead of being external angles, they're internal. So if you look up at the top there, alternate interior angles are definitely going to be chosen from angles that are in between the two lines. So we're looking at angles 1, 2, 3, and 4 as a set of interior angles, but they are non-adjacent. So if I was looking at 1, I couldn't pick 3 because those are adjacent to each other. They're opposite sides of the transversal, so I couldn't pick 1 and 4. That would keep them from being the same. So really, alternate interior angles, one pair, set of pair. An example of that would be 1 and 2. Right? All right. Let me give you one angle, and you come up with the alternate exterior angle that goes with it. Okay? Or alternate interior angles. So there's angle 4. Go ahead and write in what you think the alternate interior angle that pairs up with that one. This is not hard stuff, right? So this next one is consecutive interior angles. And so consecutive means that they're one right after another. Typically consecutive means like 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are consecutive numbers, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a specific pair of angles that actually are on the same side of the transversal. Okay, so they're interior angles on the same side. So if I was looking at angle 1 and looking for its partner, that makes a consecutive interior set of consecutive interior angles, then I would have to pick 4 because 4 is on the same side of the transversal and it's still an interior angle. Okay, the last step is corresponding angles. Corresponding angles lie on the same, whoops, typo, let's do lie there, lie on the same side of the transversal and in corresponding positions relative to L and M. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly take this picture and redraw it down below. So there I have it, and I'm just renumbered all the angles. Now, corresponding angles, take a look at choosing one angle from where the transversal and one of the lines meet. So if I grabbed angle 1, then down below is an angle that corresponds to it. See if you can figure out the pattern. Angle 1 and 5 are corresponding angles. Angles 7 and 3 are corresponding angles. Now, it has nothing to do with the numbers. The numbers could be placed in there in any way you want. It's their positioning. So look at the blue box and look at the red box. And so I have angle 1, which is in the top left corner. It corresponds to 5, which is in the top left quarter. And so If you look at 7 and 3, the same similarity thing works there. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a couple, and then you're going to figure out who its partner is. See if you can put me on pause and identify what is the corresponding angle that goes with 4 or with 8, and just write it over to the side there. And you should have wrote angle 4, which I said. Okay, so certainly 6 and 2 are the other last remaining set. Well, that's it. One of the shortest videos we'll do. Okay, so have that ready to go. Again, if you didn't have your vocabulary sheet from class, failed to give you one, or you didn't pick one up, or you were absent, then go down to the comment section of this video, and there'll be a link down there. Open that up, print it up, do your vocabulary words, bring it to class next time for your homework assignment. Take care, everybody.